There was a prior tradition here. And so I thought it was important that we pick it up again. Mm-hmm. And I think perhaps it may have, I don't know exactly when it died, but one of the things that had happened in the few years before I came was also the dissolution of the learning resource centers in terms of identity specific. Right. And so that transformed into the Multicultural Center for Academic Excellence. And I think that that sense of community had also been lost a little bit. So so I just I argued that, well, not argued, but just I basically sort of said, well, let's reinstitute this. Mm-hmm. And I brought with me my ideas of what we did in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. I know that again, there are many places around the country that hold these things, and they're often very important emotionally, psychologically, mm-hmm. and socially. I mean, there's just a lot of good things that come from these. So I had all my documents as well in terms of the outreach letters, the fundraising letter, sort of the principles that we operated on, this idea of having a sort of a particular mission or vision that was going to guide it. Mm-hmm. And worked with Lisa, who was our new outreach coordinator, to sort of say, well, let's begin bringing students and staff across campus together to plan this. And ideally, even though the department will sort of be a primary sponsor of it, what we did in San Antonio was have it really be student-initiated and student-run. Mm-hmm. Sort of settled on the Mississippi Room as a reliable place that's central, close to being on campus. But we tried out having it different places a couple of times, including some really nice places, like I can't remember the name of the place, but one of in the warehouse district, one of the art. It was gorgeous. I mean, so at the McKnight offices, McKnight Foundation offices. But in the end, it turns out that it's probably better because this has been the other issue: is when to do it. You know, is it the night before graduation, right after graduation? You have to make sure it doesn't conflict because not all our students come from the same program. And so I think that may have been, I don't know how much discussion I had about this year, but sometimes that's a discussion issue. Mm-hmm. But we also felt that proximity to the campus was good because if somebody was graduating that day, then they could just go over there. And I think we sort of settled on planning, having it held sort of immediately following the CLA graduation for Chicano Studies, which Chicano Studies is a part of, and that would help us maximize attendance. What's memorable about this is in the fact, and I think it's really important that even though we sort of start with whoever wants to come, we try to do all the outreach possible, and usually in the end it's 15, maybe 20 people, something like that attend it, but that we still have a room of 150, 200 people here, right. And that's also the purpose of it in a sense, to sort of open up space for people to have all the people they want to attend. So it's not limited to whatever it is, 4 or 6 invitations they get to invite people. So that's one of all the beautiful things of it. And in that sense, it's somewhat intimate. Things that have been probably most memorable is some of the student speeches. Some of the that's been an integral part of this as well, as having a student provide a keynote address. And you may know these students or you may think you know them, but this provides them the opportunity to really say what's on their mind. And then the other key part of this is allowing the students to have a little say, like who they're thanking, attributing to their success, and some of those even off the cuff remarks when they say, okay, sure, I'll take 10 seconds to thank somebody. It's a very emotional moment, and again, it reminds you that this is what it's all about.